Welcome back to your 2-Minute Tuesdays with Trish and Pastor Dave.
That's me.
That is you.
2-minute two.
All right, today's question. How can a good God allow pain? Suffering and tragedy are glossed over as a symptom of sin or part of God's plan. That's part of the reason I left the church. That's from Baby.
Fair. And before you start your clock, let's say that empathy for pain overrides everything, that there's no answer that's going to take away our pain, nor is anything we say here designed to. So my first response is compassion and togetherness in whatever suffering we're enduring. And we need that for each other, and that ends up being the thing that carries us through, not any stupid explanation of pain or how God fits with pain and stuff like that, that we come up with, right? That said, okay, start your clock. I'm not sure that God invented pain. God created the world and we kind of broke it, and with that breaking comes pain. And I'm not saying that pain is deserved or redemptive or any of those things that people say to explain it. It's not. It just stinks. Pain hurts. That's why it's pain. And God, I think, didn't create pain. It's not part of God's plan, wasn't God's original plan, all that stuff. Nor does God, I think, allow pain in the terms of just passively sitting back and saying, well, you guys deserve it because of what you did. Instead, here's how I see this happening. When we broke the world, God had a choice. He could get rid of all pain by getting rid of us, right? Adam and Eve gone, remake the world, but then Adam and Eve wouldn't have been here, we wouldn't have been here, it would have been a whole different thing, right? And God was unwilling to do that, not because God was mean, but because God loved us. And so God said, staying with you now means staying with pain. And I know about the wars, I know about the sickness, I know about all the stuff that's going to come, and I still choose you. But I'm not going to be passive about that. Instead, first thing I say is, I will never ever leave you, and I love you. The second is, there is a limit to this pain. There is a limit to your power to break each other and break the world. Now, functionally, we'd like that limit to be here and say, well, you caused me pain, so God should blot you off the earth. Okay, well, that's convenient for me, but what about you? And also, where does that stop? Because if we're blotted off the earth because of our brokenness, then God could have done that at the beginning, just like we just talked about, and saved us all the trouble. So instead, there is a limit to our ability to inflict and experience pain, and that limit for us is death. And then, and by the way, we view the progression towards death as, this continuing pain, and it is. But God uses death as the way to say, no more pain, no more suffering, no more ability to hurt each other. You guys are not in charge anymore. Instead, here is the way it is meant to be. And when we are resurrected, it is in a life of love, joy, where there is no more tears, no more loss, no more sorrow, no more pain. Okay? So God is not allowing pain to happen. Instead, God is sticking with us in the midst of pain and all our brokenness, and walking with us towards the time and the place and the being in which there is no pain. Now, I know that took more than 2 minutes. But
I know it took more than 2 minutes.
But this has got to be our exception because
that's
all of us
okay.
are hurting out there, right? And that in itself is not going to be a completely satisfactory answer when you're hurting. But remember, never alone. And this pain does have limits, and it will not endure forever. And understanding those two things, you understand God's voice speaking to us in the midst of our broken journey.
All right. Well, if you have your own questions, we have a forum at lightofthespirit.church and a Twitter.
At Dave Deckard.
And an email.
pastor@sov-id.org.
Every week. All right. We will see you next week for our next video.
There's dashes and dots. I can't. Oh, wait. I'm supposed
He
to.
never
wait.
remembers.
I'm supposed to remember how the creation of the world happened, why there's pain, why there's that. But
Can't remember a simple
dashes
email.
And dots. Well, I mean, it's too much.
All right, Pastor Boy. See you next week.